When an immigration officer asks you a question, they're not just listening to what you say, they're listening to how you say it. And that's where many travelers, especially seniors, get tripped up. Not because they're hiding anything, not because they've done something wrong, but because after a long flight, when you're tired, uncomfortable, and just trying to get through the airport, it's easy to sound unsure, rushed, or confused, even when your answer is perfectly legitimate. What most people don't realize is that immigration and customs questions are often routine, but officers are trained to listen for certain signals in your response. And if those signals aren't there, it can lead to extra questions, delays, or being pulled aside, even when everything is in order. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 13 most common immigration and customs questions travelers are asked, what officers are really listening for when they ask them, and how to answer calmly, clearly, and confidently, especially if you're traveling as a senior. And don't skip ahead, because question 9 is where a lot of older travelers get blindsided. We're talking about everyday medical items, prescription bottles, insulin supplies, a CPAP machine, hearing aid batteries, things that seem totally innocent to you but can trigger extra questions if you handle them the wrong way. I'll show you exactly how to avoid that mess. And let me know in the comments, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country below. I love hearing from travelers all around the world. Before the officer asks a single question, the interaction has already started. They're watching how you approach the counter, your pace, your hands, your awareness. After a long flight, especially overnight, even confident travelers can look uncertain without realizing it. For seniors, small things get noticed faster. Stiff fingers, glasses slipping, a cane in one hand while your bag rolls away. Officers expect you to be tired. What they're really checking is whether you still look prepared despite it. When they say, "Can I see your passport?" they're reading the next 2 seconds. Do you freeze and start digging, or do you hand it over like this is routine? The fix is simple and powerful. 5 to 10 minutes before the counter, take your passport out, open it to the photo page, and keep it ready. Use a neck pouch or a crossbody if you worry about dropping it. When asked, a calm sure, and one smooth handoff, no fumbling, no extra talk. That single moment quietly sets the tone for everything that follows. And when it goes smoothly, the next question usually comes fast. This question sounds like small talk, but it's one of the first consistency checks. Officers already see your route on their screen, and they're listening to see if your answer lines up. Jet lag is what trips people up here, especially seniors, because your brain is still on airplane time. That's when answers start wandering. Multiple cities, side trips, stories about friends you visited. None of that is needed, and the longer the answer gets, the more uncertain it can sound. The clean version is short and structured. Starting point plus main connection. I flew from Chicago, connecting through Frankfurt. That's it. If you're unsure what they mean, your last stop or where you began, don't guess and don't rush. Take a brief pause, glance at your boarding pass if needed, and answer calmly. A steady, simple response keeps this moving quickly, because once they hear a route that makes sense, they usually shift straight to the next question, the one that determines whether this stays easy or starts getting more detailed. This is one of the most important questions at the counter, and it's where perfectly normal travelers accidentally slow everything down. To an officer, your answer isn't just a number. It tells them whether your trip sounds planned or open-ended. Seniors often get caught here because family visits are flexible by nature. Saying something like, "I'm not really sure, it depends how things go," may be honest, but it signals uncertainty, and uncertainty invites more questions. The smoother approach is simple. Give a clear number and a reason. 14 days visiting family, 10 days on vacation. If you're visiting more than one place, keep it tight. 10 days total, 4 in Rome, 6 in Florence. Avoid soft add-ons like "we'll see" or "unless I extend," even if that's technically possible. A helpful senior travel habit is keeping your return date written down in large print on your phone or a one-page trip sheet. When your answer comes quickly and confidently, the officer usually moves on, because once your timeline makes sense, the next thing they want to know is why you're there at all. This question isn't about curiosity, it's about classification. Officers want to place you into one clear category that matches your documents: tourism, family visit, business, or medical. Where seniors accidentally complicate this is by answering like a normal human being, listing sightseeing, family time, helping with grandchildren, and a doctor appointment all in one breath sounds harmless. But to an officer, it sounds like multiple trip types at once. The safest move is to lead with one clear headline that matches your entry status. I'm visiting family. I'm here on vacation. I'm joining a cruise. Keep it short and let it land. 2 words to be careful with are help and treatment. Helping family can sound like work, and treatment suggests paperwork they may need to see. If your visit includes those things casually, don't lead with them. When your words match your documents, this question usually passes quickly, and then they shift their attention to your life back home. This question often catches people off guard, especially retirees, but it's not personal. Officers are checking whether you have ties outside the country and the means to support your trip. For seniors, this is actually one of the easiest questions to answer. Well, if you're retired, simply say, "I'm retired." That single sentence answers more than you realize and usually lowers concern immediately. If you're semi-retired or do light consulting, keep it just as simple. "I'm semi-retired and do some consulting back home." Avoid resumes, explanations, or job histories. If they ask about funds, you don't need to justify anything. Just be ready to show a card or booking if requested. Quick question for you. What's the most annoying simple question you've been asked at immigration? Drop it in the comments. Now, after this question, the focus usually shifts from your background to who you're connected to on this trip. This question is about clarity, not companionship. Officers want to know whether your answer matches what they're seeing in their system. Seniors sometimes overthink this, especially when traveling alone but meeting family, or when relatives are nearby but not standing at the counter. If you're alone, say it plainly, "I'm traveling alone." If someone is meeting you, add one clean sentence. "I traveled alone. My daughter is picking me up outside." If you're traveling with family who aren't next to you, say, "I'm traveling with my husband. He's right behind me." Relationship plus location is all you need to say. Having pickup names, phone numbers, and addresses written down in large print helps here, especially if hearing or memory is affected by fatigue, because once that's clear, they often ask about family ties more directly. This question can feel intimidating, but it's actually very simple. Having family in the country is not a problem. Sounding open-ended is. Officers are listening for one thing. Does your visit still clearly have an endpoint? If the answer is no, say no, and stop. If the answer is yes, give a short, structured response. Who, where, and how long? "Yes, my daughter lives in Toronto. I'm visiting for 2 weeks and flying home on the 18th. Events help anchor your story. Graduations, weddings, or birthdays because they make your trip sound organized. What you want to avoid is listing every relative or adding "we'll see how long I stay." Clear ending dates keep this moving. And then they usually check your travel history. This is where many seniors worry about remembering exact years or trips. The good news is, officers can usually see your travel history already. They're not testing your memory, they're checking honesty and consistency. If they ask, "Is this your first visit?" you can say, "Yes, this is my first time here." Or if they ask, "Have you been here before?" you can answer, "Yes, a few years ago," or "Yes, once on a tour." Exact dates are not required. If you genuinely don't remember, don't guess. Saying "I've been here before, but I don't remember the exact year" sounds honest and usually matches what they see. What slows things down is turning this into a full travel recap. Short answers protect you here, because the next question is where tired travelers most often slip up. By this point, many people are mentally done and answer no on reflex. For seniors, that's risky, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're more likely to be carrying everyday items that invite questions: prescription medication, insulin supplies, CPAP equipment, or even snacks. Before answering, give yourself 2 seconds for a mental scan. Medication, food, large amounts of cash, new purchases. If you have prescription items, keep them in labeled containers and have a photo or copy of the prescription handy. The safest response, when in doubt, is cooperative and calm. "I have prescription medication for personal use and some sealed snacks. Do those need to be declared?" That one sentence prevents misunderstandings, because once something is found after a flat no, the tone can change quickly. If this goes smoothly, they move on to where you're staying. This is an anchor question. Officers want a real, specific place they can picture. Seniors sometimes blank here, especially when staying with family, even though they know the house perfectly well. If it's a hotel, name it. If it's family, say who and the city, and let them know you can show the address. "I'm staying with my daughter in Toronto. I have the address here." If your trip includes multiple stops, start with night 1. "Tonight I'm at the Marriott near the port. Then I'm on a cruise." Writing addresses and phone numbers in large print saves time and frustration. Have you ever blanked on this at the counter? Let me know how you handled it in the comments. Sometimes, after this, they'll ask to see proof. This request doesn't mean you did something wrong. It's usually a quick match check. Does what you're saying line up with what you booked? What causes stress is scrambling through emails while airport Wi-Fi decides to disappear. The fix is simple prep. Take screenshots of your hotel confirmation, return ticket, and any tours or cruises, and save them in one folder on your phone so they're available offline. If you prefer paper, a one-page trip sheet in large print works just as well. When asked, don't explain. Just open the folder, show the screen, and wait. Once that lines up, the final concern is whether you're actually leaving. This question is about one thing: proof of exit, round-trip ticket within your allowed stay. Easy. Where seniors run into trouble is flexible family visits, where the return date feels undecided. At the border, I'm not sure yet, sounds unfinished. The safer approach is to have a real, changeable or refundable ticket booked within your allowed stay. It doesn't mean you're breaking rules, it means you're prepared. Officers just need something legitimate and checkable. If you're unsure which option works best for your travel style, leave a comment. I'm happy to help you think it through. Some countries, though, add one final check. Not every country asks this, but when they do, it matters, especially for travelers over 60. This isn't about lost luggage, it's about medical responsibility. Some places require proof of coverage at entry, and others expect you to have it even if they don't ask. Travel insurance turns small problems into manageable ones: a slip, a clinic visit, a scan, just to be safe. Those costs add up fast overseas. Save your insurance proof as an offline PDF and know where the emergency number is. If asked, the answer is simple: yes, here's my coverage. Even when no one asks, having it is one of those quiet senior traveler advantages that keeps trips enjoyable instead of stressful. If you stayed with me all the way to the end, you're already more prepared than 90% of travelers walking through those airport doors. And if you noticed a pattern running through all 13 of these questions, it's because everything at the immigration and customs counter boils down to the same few core ideas. They're checking who you are, why you're here, where you'll be staying, when you're leaving, and what you're bringing into the country. That's it. The questions might sound different, but the logic is always the same. If this video helped you feel even a little more confident about your next trip, do me a favor and hit that like button so more travelers can see it, and subscribe for more senior-friendly travel tips that actually make sense in the real world. But here's what I really want to know, and I mean this: what's the weirdest, toughest, or most confusing question you've ever been asked at immigration or customs, and where in the world did it happen? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and your story might genuinely save someone else from the same stressful situation. Safe travels, my friends, and I'll see you in the next one.